Hello and welcome to Zero Cool Gaming and today's movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie called Planet of the Apes. Now, Planet of the Apes is a movie that was made a long time ago in, let's see if I wrote this down. Yes, 1968. It is a 5-part series, or 5 movies. Basically explaining or going through the life of a human that got pushed through a wormhole hundreds, if not thousands, of years into the future, where human beings have been reduced to basically animals, and apes have evolved to the point that they were when humans were hunters and gatherers and living in small communities. Now, one of the things that I liked about this movie was how it defined, depicted, and showed racism. This was back in a time when people understood what racism was, before communism infected our teaching books that we teach to our children, and before a bunch of progressive communist sympathizers thought that it would be a good idea to lie to the youth, and rather than teach them things like math, science, reading, writing, what they should be teaching them, they taught them a bunch of lies about critical race theory and systemic racism, neither of which are true. They are lies. They are communist lies meant to tear the fabric of a society apart, and it basically tears the fabric apart along the lines of intelligence or gained knowledge versus those who have none. And what I mean by gained knowledge means people who were actually taught to read, write, math, and science have the critical thinking skills to look at CRT and see it for the lie that it is. These people cannot. They have no critical thinking skills. They've never been taught to read, write, do math, or science. They have been lied to their entire lives about what these things actually are. Which is why they say things like, math is racism, science is racist. Because that's what they've been taught. They were never taught math or science. What they were taught is that the reason they're not being taught these things is because it's racist. It's very easy to confuse and brainwash ignorant people. The reality is that the reason they are living in squalor and poverty has a lot to do with the politicians that they elect. They believe the lies that come out of these people's mouths, and then when the politicians turn out to be corrupt and pass a bunch of corrupt laws to protect themselves from accountability for their actions, it is the people who elected them that suffer as a result. And these politicians, again, who literally created laws to protect themselves from any kind of accountability for the crimes they commit, will then turn around and tell their people, there was nothing I could do for you because of systemic racism. Just wouldn't allow it. These people are evil, and the people voting for them are too ignorant to know better. Period. These people do not understand how corrupt their legal system is. They do not grasp the fact that their politicians are the ones who are making it worse. These politicians claim that they're going to do this and do that, and the community is going to be better and safer. And then they turn around and do the exact opposite. And when the people complain, oh, it's systemic racism, blame those people over there. We had nothing to do with it. And the people are so ignorant that they believe it. I know there's problems with our system. And it certainly doesn't help when you elect criminals who have no intentions of fixing it and only want to make it worse. Period. Stop believing the lies. You're helping no one. And in fact, it's those same people that you vote for that are making it worse. And if you bothered to actually get up and look into it, you would find that fact to be true. Lori Lightfoot is a prime example of that fact. This woman has been elected repeatedly, and each term, the city that she has been elected to watch over gets worse and worse. And what's her excuse every time? Oh, systemic racism. It's all the fault of the others. There isn't an other within 100 miles of the city that she's over. Period. None of the others have a damn thing to do with what goes on in that city or why it is the way that it is. The reality is she does not want to fix the system. She will never remove the laws that protect her from accountability. And because they are unwilling to give up on the power they stole from the people, it will only get worse. Period. Nothing's going to get better there. Absolutely not. The people, A, won't admit what the problems are. Half of that's because they've been lied to about what the problems in their communities actually are. And the few people that do know what the problems in these communities are, well, they're kicked out of the town meetings, and in some cases, thrown in jail for 2 or 3 days for daring to speak out against the mob. For daring to speak the truth, they are silenced, jailed, and quite possibly beaten by their own community for daring to tell the truth. Because you see, these ignorant people who keep voting for these corrupt politicians don't like to be told that their belief structures and the things that they do within their own communities, like how they protect the criminals within them, are the reason that crime is so high in their communities. It's kind of hard to go and arrest the criminal when 50 different households are literally protecting them. And they aren't protecting them by blatantly lying to the cop. At least that's what they would say. They're just not telling them the truth. They're not telling them anything at all. And they seem to think that by protecting criminals, not helping their police, which are their police, they are people hired right out of their own communities to protect their communities, they won't talk to them either. Snitches get stitches. These people believe it, they follow it, and they enforce it. It is an evil moral, and they will never learn until they're forced to. They will continue to protect the murderers, the rapists, the wife beaters, all of it. And they'll claim it's not happening. Why? Because snitches get stitches. Is it a direct lie? Well, they would say no. I would say yes. Are they helping their communities? I would say no. They would say yes. Because they're too ignorant to see how damaging what they're doing truly is. They want to blame everyone else for the damage being caused rather than looking at themselves for the answer. It's easy to blame others for the problem you created. It's easy to say that's the problem rather than working on yourself to fix it. And that's the way they want it. They want you to look for the easy way. They want you to believe the easy way works because the people who know and have the education to know better are well aware of the fact that the easy way never works. Anyway, that's my rant for the day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of yours.